You are very welcome to this, the New Look Bitcoin Tarot podcast for the week starting the 2nd of March 2018 with me, Cosmic Conroy. Last week's reading suggested Bitcoin was in good health, but warned us to take note of the dangers of indolence and excess. With a 5% gain since this time last week, we can safely say that Bitcoin was indeed in good health, and that it avoided too much excess. Most commentators are suggesting and accepting that this could be a pivotal week for Bitcoin, at the crux of many lines of influence and confluence in the 6-month chart. Will Bitcoin break out of its upward trend line? Or will it break out of its downwards trend line? With luck, we can turn to the Trump and the Tarot for enlightenment. Our first card, which represents the past 7 days in Bitcoin, is the Priestess. The High Priestess represents growth, but an inner growth of strength and spirit. We can imagine her learning and teaching and biding her time, slowly growing just as Bitcoin price has done over this last week. Our second card, which represents the current moment in Bitcoin, what is happening right now in the first days of March, is the Princess of Wands. As I noted in the introduction, these are pivotal times for Bitcoin, and the confluence of downward and upward trends is strong. This card seems to indicate that both fears and passions are high and pitted against each other. But this is the princess, so there's very little doubt she will overcome her fears. Our third card, representing the next 7 days in Bitcoin, is the Three of Wands, Virtue. This card represents the rewards which virtue brings, not some gift blessed upon you by the grateful universe, but a necessary consequence of virtuous action. Self-reliance and self-understanding come from hard work and study. Bitcoin benefits from the hard work and virtue of its community, and it will continue to do so. So it seems that the historic learning and growth represented by the Priestess has led to this moment, in which, if we can overcome the fears represented by the Princess, we will gain the just rewards of virtue. So our final card represents the overall meta state of the project. It's the card to explain why the timeline set up by the other 3 cards came about. And that card is the 6th trump card, known as the Lovers. Not just the love of romance, but the love of trustless, authenticated, cryptographically proven transaction verifiability. And the love of the craft and the mission that drives all who help the project along in however small a way. Yes, through love, we will overcome our fears and get the rewards of virtue, the rewards we so justly deserve. Unfortunately, that's the end of this week's reading. I'd like to go into more detail and do a complex spread about specifics or altcoins or answering viewer questions, but alas, doing so would take most of the day and I can't afford to take the time off work. So we're running a fundraiser. If you'd like to see a longer format, more in-depth reading, then use these QR codes to donate towards the Bitcoin Tarot Podcast fundraising drive. When we get enough donations for me to buy a day off work to spend on the long-form show, I'll make it and broadcast it for free. We accept Bitcoin, of course, no amount too small, but if you'd like to see our podcast focus on some other coin, you can use your donation as a suggestion on which coins we should pay attention to. So we also have an Ethereum address. Perhaps one day there will be an automatic tarot reading DApp funded by ERC20 token offerings. Or Redcoin. That's another popular coin focused on tipping and rewarding artists and mystics like myself. All donations in Red encourage us to focus more on the Redcoin in future episodes. Or, if you like patented ASIC boost hardware, we even accept donations in Bitcoin Cash. But Don't get the addresses mixed up. There's no SegWit in Bcash. Of course, all of the keys are in the description below as well. So far, we've raised 0.0000000 Bitcoin out of our 0.05 Bitcoin target. Perhaps unsurprising, since this is the first time we've broadcast our addresses. So be the first to donate. Even if it's just a fraction of a penny, it all goes towards our next longer format show. And if you can't donate, you can always like and share. And whether you join in supporting our podcast or not, until the next time, may the Bitcoin bless you.